Good morning, everyone. Kim and Paula. Now do you have video?
Let me see. Oh, I do. Yay!
Yeah, video. Oh,
Yay. Awesome. So we've already got some people started coming in.
yeah, it's awesome.
You look
Oh,
fine today.
what?
My makeup was not able to come today.
Oh, you still look awesome. Luckily mine came today because I got attacked this morning by mosquitoes. I had like 7 bites on my arm and I got bit right on my eyelid. So my eyelid is like super swollen.
No.
Like you can kind of see it a little bit, but she had to
Yeah.
like strategically shadow so that you can't see my
Yeah.
eyelid is super puffy. I was like, come on.
Well, I started the Zen cleanse.
I know, and I want to know about that. I was like, when I saw that you had it, I was just talking to Alexandra Cousins about it, like
Yeah,
trying to
there's
find.
Dr. Bobby has it here and he can order it for us in Ubud.
Ah,
So we got it.
they have it in stock though, or they have to just order it.
Yeah, he usually has it in stock. He ordered it for me. It took a day. So
I want to try the rainbow cleanse, the 7-day one. It's supposed to
yeah,
be
I'm gonna
amazing.
try this one first because this is supposed to be super intense. So at 10, in my 10 minutes, one of my alarms might pop off. So I have to, every 30 minutes, you have to do this. So if I do, I'll make sure I.
Send me the info. I'll try to do
It's really, I know, it's
the
pretty
1-day
amazing.
one first. I also just
Packaging.
ordered all that Black Oxygen organic stuff as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so good, right? So the packaging is off the charts. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. So good.
It's like really beautiful. They did a really good job. It's worth the
Yeah.
$250 that you pay in packaging.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing. It's like I feel like that's important. It's important
It
stuff.
is. It is. The window
It
dressing.
makes you like, I mean, and especially when it's something like that where it's like, it's quite intense, but then at least you like get to look at this beautiful box and then you're like, this is what my intestines are going to look like. My intestines are going to look beautiful after I finish this cleanse.
Oh, designer. Yeah, I don't, I'm not sure about that, but oh, well, okay. There we go. Yeah, so I see some people already coming early. I think Michelle's just jumping on too.
There she is. Hello.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, darling. So we are your panelists able to hear us as well?
Yeah.
So they get the insider scoop? Oh, good. Good to see you, ladies.
The early bird gets the worm.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, you've got a major response, so it's pretty exciting what's happening. And I was just getting some development stuff from Michelle in ways that we can, keep everyone in while they're in this development so that we make sure that they're all being handled. So
Yes.
a couple things that we weren't planning on doing, I think we should do just because it's helps keep everyone in track. And then it also helps, you too, Leah, and all of our clients as well, so that they know they can tag and get answers quickly.
Yeah,
Which is,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good.
But I'm excited for that form of, style of system to be able to be embedded into the network once it's fully launched.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
playing
know.
around an active campaign a little bit ago. We'll be able to set up some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I know it's going to be really cool. And I was like doing some, brainstorming stuff with even Hannah Lay, and she's like, "Mom, I can't wait for the live stream to come out because, I get messages all the time from Instagram and the amount of kids and families that are watching. However, like we're really, specific the way that she uses it. And she's like, I can't wait to be able to do this in the network. So then now there's a place that kids have really super safe spot to be on too. You know, she gets messages from adults that watch her content. However, most kids are not there.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be necessarily. So exciting stuff.
Yeah, I had a really interesting conversation with Jason Cisneros last night, so I definitely want to share that with you too. He's launching a Amazon style platform for patriots. And it's really interesting. And I think the synergy for content creators, like perhaps some partnership stuff could be really cool, because what they're putting together is pretty next level.
And that's all he's been focusing on, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he just really, I think it's very similar to like why right now is so powerful for it. Maybe I'll just start recording. Okay, now we're recording. I was just thinking like this is perhaps an interesting conversation for people that are coming back and catching the replay. But yeah, I mean, I think that, one of the reasons why I feel like this is so relevant right now is because of the extreme level of censorship. And I mean, it's interesting because I was even talking to Michelle a couple of days ago. Michelle still can't go live into our groups. Like
Michelle Patrick
is blocked from live streaming on Facebook because she's talking about alternate wellness. And she's speaking about wellness, how to be healthy without pharmaceuticals, right? And they completely took her account away from her.
Yeah.
And then, but it was interesting because she was in communication with them. They took her account away from her, and they said that she had violated community standards, but they wouldn't give her a specific example, but they told her she could open a new account, and they would allow her to open the new account. So they took all her followers away from her, allowed her to open a new account, but they won't allow her to live stream from the new account. So like all of our groups where, I mean, I have facilitated all my stuff on Facebook for so many years, but we have programs, our practitioner training is housed there. So literally what ended up happening is every live stream that she had done into the container was removed from the container. And luckily, for the last few years, have been backing everything up on YouTube. So we had the videos to drop back in for the practitioners, but potentially she could have lost all that work that we've done over the last 2 years. And now she can't even do a live stream of new content into the group. She has to record it through Zoom, and then we have to upload it to YouTube and then drop it in the group.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's how censored she's being right now. And so, I think this thing with Jason, where he's really just been like, this is ridiculous, like Jeff Bezos is worth $90 billion. And that money is going, when we shop and we support Amazon, that money is actually going to control and manipulation of a population of people, particularly in the United States, where they're shaping a narrative that's not an unbiased narrative. And so, yeah, I mean, he's been, full board trying to find all the ways to help, and really looking at, he's been looking at all these platforms, looking at all this stuff over the last few years, trying to figure out what to get involved in. And I think like he finally just got to the point where he's just now started he sold all of his businesses, and now he started investing in these things, in these platforms that he believes is going to take power away from big pharma, big tech, and give it back to the people. But he's obviously also like huge entrepreneurial spirit, and has, lots and lots and lots of failed and successful business success, which, is like, that's the thing I think that makes people so valuable in, how are we as, and I think about this all the time. It's like, I can sit here and say, how are we as normal people like navigating this arena? But the truth of the matter is that we're actually much more able to navigate because we're more properly resourced than most people. And Rhonda and I, Michelle, were having a conversation the other day, and I was saying, and welcome everybody as you're hopping on. We're just kind of having a chat before the webinar starts. But, I was saying, people ask me all the time, they're like, how did you get to where you are in your business? And I'm like, you couldn't do it today the way that I did it. It's not available anymore. Because of the censorship, because of the algorithms, because of the lack of support of the platforms in promoting the content. So it's not possible to do what I did. But hopefully with the network, it will again become possible. So that's like one of the things that I'm so excited about, because I just, I have so many content creators in my community that have an important message that needs to get out into the world, but they're not being supported in the delivery of that message, and nobody's seeing it. I mean, I can't even tell you, that's the energetic attraction, right? Like how many people that I would say are, of my caliber content creators, or maybe just, a year or so behind me, that have just randomly reached out to me being like, what are you doing? How are you surviving? Because their businesses have majorly tanked over the last few months because of algorithms and not their stuff not getting seen.
Well, I can give a strong example, and it's good because everyone's just getting ready to start coming on. Is yeah, what's actually happening in in the social world, with Facebook ads, with business pages, it is complete crickets. I've got over 50,000 clients that are on the business page, and I used to be able to go live. When I would go live, I would get maybe several thousand, 1 to 2,000 live. Now I go live, I don't even go live anymore because of that reason. There's literally 20 people maybe see it. And this has been a common occurrence, which is why we had this discussion with Michelle and Mars, and why, sorry everyone, I'm on a cleanse.
Make your Zen cleanse.
That's my reminder. I just drank it already though. So, and I just had this conversation with Sasha Stone, right? Sasha Stone he's a freedom fighter. He's speaking on the front ends, and he's on the front line, and he's really truly taking a stand for what's taking place, and he just keeps getting censored, and they're getting ready to take away his account. And so obviously there's, we're seeing all of the reasons behind it, but it comes down to us being very wise and being one step ahead, right? So you and I had talked about this too. I don't know if it's just at 10. So if you want me to stop to let everyone in, or do you want me to keep chatting?
No, go ahead. They're just coming in. They auto come in because it's webinar style. So we'll just keep chatting for a few minutes.
Yeah.
We'll give people I'm usually late, so my audience tends to show up late. So we'll give them five or so minutes to get here, so we can kind of just keep chatting, and then.
Yeah, good. Well, so this is what it is though, is that when the shutdown happened, and I was talking about this the other day, when the shutdown went down with Facebook and with Instagram and WhatsApp, that was a test. That was a test to see what's going to happen. And what took place for Michelle, when her account goes down, this is now what's occurring, is that they're testing to see what people are going to do. And all we need to do is just be prepared, so we're not in survival mode. See, this is when we become better leaders, better, guidance for our audience, because when this happens, the audience goes into survival mode, they freak out and everything goes down. However, when you have a leader that says, don't worry, we've got you, now you're ready, so that they can become and stand up for their communities as leaders to say, don't worry, I got you too. Because this is what we need to create, right? This is the support system that we want to create. Because, even when things, go down in the world, people freak out. But when there's those that have foresight, they're like, don't worry, the watering hole's here. Don't worry, the food is here. Then the community calms down and everyone thrives. But when everyone's in survival mode, then we have a really big situation in our hands, which is why we are inviting everyone, and I know you are, Leah, so that we have the right group that helps launch a platform that can help all of them become instant global leaders, and the answer for their communities that might freak out or be in survival mode, so we can create a ripple effect of preparation over survival.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And it's just when we start looking across of what's happening, we have to just follow trends, right? And we see when these things start to happen. And like one of the bigger trends, let's say, that took place, I remember, what was it when this is even before social media came out. What was that platform, right? MySpace or something that was out. And it was like the biggest things ever, right? But it got completely, taken over once Facebook came. Then it kept going down, right? It was getting hacked. So like there's things that then Facebook came out, right? So it was probably hacked by Facebook, so that Facebook's platform could launch properly. It's when we're prepared for things and we don't freak out and we don't lose our audiences. And I think this is what's been happening to a lot of, like, running our PR and branding firm. I see a lot of big coaches and consultants. They're like, where do I put my people? Like, where do I put them? I don't want them in Facebook anymore. I don't want them in groups. I don't want them, all over the place in Telegram. Telegram is good for communication, but doesn't help me do the things that I need to do. And, and so this is what's been happening across, the collective of what can we do and how do we do it, which is where this has, come about in the mastery behind it all. So, yeah, so I'm excited to talk about that today. I'm happy. Thanks for having us here, Leah. It's exciting.
Yeah. I'm just posting in a couple of places.
Yeah, because I saw you had like 180 people like
Yeah.
yesterday.
But I also have, like, we've also got all these time zones happening, right? So we've made this available on demand. So anyone that, like, automatically they'll just get the recording of it, which is amazing. So they can watch it when they wake up or when it suits their time zone. But I am also just posting because I don't know if you guys saw, but I actually got censored from sharing last night. Like, I got blocked in Messenger from sharing the access to the webinar. And yeah, I mean, like, and then I wrote like that was so crazy. So then I wrote, like, I was really upset about it. I was like, this is bullshit. And I wrote this post and I submitted the post, and all of a sudden this thing pops up and it's like, we're sorry. We're like, something like, we're sorry, I screenshot it. We're sorry, we're having an error right now. Try again later. So, like, I went to post my post about being censored, and so then I had to, like, do it. So then I came down to a different computer because I was on my phone. So I came down to my computer, wrote the post and posted it, but it's wild.
Literally. It's been happening consistently, so, and that's why I'm so excited about this conversation. I want to start talking about it, but we're waiting for everyone to arrive. How are you, Michelle? I know it's been a really, literally wild months for you. You guys have not only been building this, been the backside of the whole Wild Summit, and you then have been traveling and building with your team. Like, oh, this woman, I'm like, how does she do it? I thought I was unstoppable. Like, tops it.
It's been a wild couple of weeks, yeah, but it's exactly what you're saying. Like, I've got so many clients, so many friends who are being censored everywhere, and it is at that point where we've got to have a platform that we can control, that we can get our message out there and not be reliant on all of these social media networks and everybody else. Because I'm with Leah. People have asked me, how did I build my business? How can they do it? I'm like, you can't do it that way anymore. I did it with content and SEO, and Google is the same thing as Facebook. The algorithms do not favor great content and us as small business owners and entrepreneurs anymore, especially if we do anything that's not, mainstream. So I'm really excited about the project for that reason, because I know it's so needed right now.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay, well, let's, like, kick in officially. It's about 7 hours, posted in all the places. Hopefully people are getting the thing. And we did have a really incredible response. I was really blown away. I think I had 180 people. It's over that now because this one has 200, but, like, over 200 people at this point were like, yes, I'm tired of censorship. Tell me what you've got going on. And so then, like, went to, like, attempt to individually reach out to everyone, because I really wanted people to understand what this was about. So the beauty of this is we didn't just get 160 people registered for a webinar that it was vague about what this was. Like, in my audio messages to them, I was very specific about what we're trying to do here, and what this is. So that's really exciting to me, that people are realizing and wanting to make a change. And so would love for those of you that are here to, type in the chat box, let us know where you are watching from, where in the world you are. And I'm so happy and excited and thankful to have Rhonda Swan and Michelle Schaefer here with me today. And yeah, so we want to tell you a little bit about the Wild Network. Would love for Rhonda to share her vision of why she created the Wild Network. And then we'll share with you why I, one, immediately said yes, two, I'm so highly invested in getting my community involved in this project. And then Michelle is going to take us through a demo of the network and an unveiling of my channel, which I'm super excited about because I haven't officially seen it yet. I know Rhonda saw it yesterday, but I haven't.
Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Hi, Alicia. I'm from Detroit.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin, Alicia Baker.
What's up?
Human design, amazing human design person. I messaged her yesterday and I was like, you need to be on this call.
Yeah, amazing.
You don't have any human design people yet, so you need to get there and you need to get on the network.
Well, you're right. This is what I've been working on too, is categories of who we need. Like we've been putting this list together. Kalamazoo, yeah, Leslie. All right, we got all these Michiganders in here. I haven't hung out with people from Michigan in a while. So I appreciate it, Leah. I'd love to just share briefly because I know everyone's excitement is, let's see it, what is it? We want to show you your channel. But I think most of your audience know I was called to write this book, and certainly Leah was in the book, and it was just 2 years ago. I was here in Bali with clients. I run our branding and PR firm. We were doing a full branding event, and we all sat there and we're like, isn't it amazing how well we work together and how easy it is for us to work? And then the conversation started to come out where it was like, no, this is not typical. Most women have not been working well together, and we've been trained to step on each other, to push each other down, programmed to really not support our sisters. And it's not because we've chosen it, it's just subconsciously been embedded into us that we need to battle to be better. And I won't go deeply into that because there's a whole rant that can go. However, that was the purpose behind the book. So we started writing the book and I included 22 authors, and the vibration and the frequency that were coming from this book and just the energy behind it was just phenomenal. All of a sudden women are working well together and all this like beauty's coming, right? People are coming forward. And then I shared this on the summit. I really watched trends, right? So I not only knew the trend was women need to talk about the conversation, what's going on. It's not just rise, sister, rise, you can do this, and let's learn how to meditate and get connected to Mother Earth. That's part of it. But it's like, no, rise together, sisters. Like, what are we going to do? And so that's why this book came out, because I look at trends, I look what's going on, and the message wasn't being shared. Now, being in digital marketing for the last 15 years, I also watch what's taking place not only in social media, what's happening in marketing, how much money people are spending, what are ads costing us, and where we're getting our leads and our revenue from. And what happened, as it's quite obvious, is that lead costs were going way up, even during coronavirus times, right? This pandemic time. It started off very, very low, and then it got very, very expensive because they were charging us more just to show our information to people. And unless business pages have marketing, they were completely dead. Crickets, completely dead, right? And now the conversation starts coming up, right? The censorship, all of these start coming forward. And so Mars and Michelle and I were building the summit, and Mars and Michelle have been doing this work for many, 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 many years. And they have already been building a platform for another high-level marketer, and I'll let you share, any of the information you'd like to share, Michelle. And they said, Rhonda, because I was talking about it, and they're like, oh my goodness, we actually have something we want to share it with you. This is exactly what your needs are, because there were so many gaps. Like there were community gaps, there were connection gaps, there were not just censorship. It was like big gaps in how do we lead, how do we share content, and how do we also make our offers, how do we connect with people, but being seen by the right ones. There's just so many gaps, and all of our content is spread everywhere. Right? Like if you're not on YouTube, you got to be on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, you need to be on Facebook. You got to be on LinkedIn. You got to be all over these social platforms, and no one knows how to actually manage or run them unless you have a high-level marketer like I am, and like I have a huge team running ads consistently. And like there's huge gaps. Women have huge gaps for marketing, right? They're doing beautiful work in the world, but it's manual. Not a lot of systems. It's very tough to put systems together these days. Funnels make most women and most business owners alone go a little bit crazy. Like, what is a funnel? I can't even do that. I'll do 2 pages and I'm good. Got an email. But that's not how it works. Like, that's not how it sells. And so we started to check on all of these gaps. And we realized that we can fulfill on every one of these gaps if we build our own network that allows women to, and it's of course starting off as women, however the male network is ready to launch after the women throw the magic in. And it's a place for you to not only be showcased and featured as the expert in your niche, but to have the automation and to have those features that you would have to build and bring on a completely new team to help build this stuff. So it's almost like we're taking Mars and Michelle's team, which is, 20, 30 plus people, mine, which is 30 to 30, 50 plus people, but our decades of knowledge and the experiences they've had with the top marketers in the world of what needs to happen. And so we said, look, we need to build this. And so everything switched when it came to the summit. I said, we are launching the next book, but we need to launch the network. Like, this has to happen now because censorship, boom, 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 was happening so quickly. And we knew it when the day we were on the summit, we shared live the show that was getting thousands and thousands of views, and it got 120, 124 views because they can't control us anymore. So this is where the vision has come from, Leah, and I could go longer. However, I don't want to continue to do that because I don't want to bore you, but this is where we're going, and it's time for us as women to come together and create something that is so magical, but be the ones that are on the forefront, be the leaders of it. And that's why we want you here, because we're only taking that certain amount so that you can now be the one where they're like, what is that? Now you can be the one that shares it with the next generation.
Amazing.
Oh.
Oh. Michelle, do you want to share a little bit about, I would love for you to share a little bit about, who you are, your background, your experience, how this platform even came to be, and then maybe a little bit about your vision for the Wild Network.
Sure. So, quick background on me. I started my business online back in 2000, but I started building websites in like 1993. So I've been a little bit ahead of the tech curve when it comes to all of that. And I have, seen what works, what doesn't work, and how things have evolved over, well, I guess decades at this point. And Rhonda and I go way back. We know each other from some previous projects and and previous versions of our businesses. And Leah, you mentioned before we officially got started how the way you built your business doesn't work today. And it's the same thing where I'm at today. Most of what I built with my list of my own business was through blogging and content marketing and SEO. And that doesn't work anymore because we're being just as censored. If you check out the Google results versus DuckDuckGo or freer platforms, you'll see totally different results come up because the censorship is happening everywhere. And so, the evolution of the platform has been a lot of years of discussion of looking at, we see things going this direction. What do we do to get ahead of it? Because like Rhonda said, we've got to be ahead of that curve and be prepared for what's happening so that we can get our message out there and really be able to together grow that. And probably about little over a year and a half ago, we were having a lot of conversations with some of our higher level clients, and they were running into some of the same challenges. Like, ad costs had skyrocketed and they were paying a fortune in ads every month just to get in front of people who had already liked their pages, who had already signed up for things with them, but just to be able to do that. And then emails weren't getting through, deliverability has gone down, like all these things were colliding and creating this kind of perfect storm. And on top of that, they were looking at platforms like Thinkific and Teachable and all the ones that we know and going, this doesn't actually give me the engagement that I want with my community. This doesn't actually give me the features I need. And so we started building out a custom platform that would bring together solutions to all of those things in one place. And so, like Rhonda said, when we started having a discussion with her before the summit, we're like, we've got something you might be interested in. and looking at it from the perspective of, like Rhonda said, there's a lot of us that we can't speak freely on social media anymore. And we know it's what we're supposed to be getting out there as far as our message. So what do you do when everywhere is censored, when everywhere's not showing your content. You've got to have somewhere that you can get it out there. And that's what we're looking to create and build, is that space. So I don't know if you ladies are ready, I can screen share and demo.
Go for it.
All right.
So now we'll show it to you.
All
The thing
right.
you've been waiting for.
All right. So welcome to the Wild Network. You can see this is the home page that people land on. And the way the platform works is people can sign up for a free Wild Pass account, which gives them access to all of the free content. And I'll show you some of the options for paid content in here, as well as we look at Leah's channel and what's set up. And I'll show you the opportunities where your content comes up, where you get featured, and how this works in terms of us driving traffic to the network so that your stuff is getting seen. And I don't know, Leah, if you want to drop a link for them to the page so they can kind of look at some of what we've got set up inside of the platform. But Rhonda mentioned like syndication, and Leah, you mentioned getting your stuff out there on social media. That's built into the platform. So one of the things that Rhonda's team knows really, really well is media. And one of the things that I know really, really well is content marketing and blogging and how to get your content out there and syndicate it organically. And so we've built all of that and all of our knowledge into the platform so that we can leverage that for you. And you don't have to learn all that on your own or try to juggle it on your own, because it is nearly impossible if it's just you or you and a small team to be all these places and to do all these things. And that's one of the core problems that we wanted to solve, was handling that piece for you. So you can focus on creating your content, on getting your content you've already got out there in a much bigger way. So you can see some of the places that it's syndicating there. I won't go into that too much right at the moment. But the platform is set up so you can see there's featured content on here, collections, channels. I'll explain all of that. Featured, here's Leah. We've got all of this is the basic layout. It's also organized by topic on here, but let me actually show you how it works. So when people click into one of the content pieces in a collection, this is what that looks like. You can see title, description. We've got previews, watch list features, so users can save content that they want to watch or want to share. We've got profiles for everyone in there. When you go into the watch pages, we've got the videos embedded in here. You can see who's featured in them, summaries here, and we've got, of course, share built in, because we all know one of the things we are really good at is sharing content. So you can imagine you put your content in here and you've got thousands and thousands of women sharing it out. So there's a huge domino effect of getting traffic back to the network where you are, where you can be seen. Again, there's the watch list feature in there. And we built this in a way that it's not just designed to showcase your video, but you can also upload PDFs. You can upload audio resources that go with it. You can create action steps, right? So we build e-learning into the platform, and it remembers if people click off their action steps when they come back, so they can work through if you've got like a process, things like that. Well, we'll talk about this more in a minute, but you can see Leah's content is featured on Rhonda's video here, where people can buy and get access to one of her journaling courses here. But let's go to her channel. And I know, Leah, you haven't seen this yet, so this is the latest for your channel. When you get a channel on the platform, the way you can think about this is Wild Network as a platform is like Amazon or like Netflix. Inside of that, there's channels. So like HBO, Cinemax, Boomerang. When you have a channel, you're featured this way with a banner across the top that explains what your channel is about. And inside of your channel, you have collections. So that's like shows. So if you're thinking, you as HBO, you've got shows like, Game of Thrones, whatever else is on HBO right now, that show up as collections here. You can have collections that are accessible to everyone with a Wild Pass, right? So free content can be featured in here. You can also have paid content in here. And you can see it's noted for people so they know what's available for purchase and what's included free that they can check out and browse through. And then it's featured. Let me move our faces here. There we go. So I can click through. But you can see some of Leah's paid courses are already in here. I love your thumbnails, by the way. These are great. And you can all imagine your thumbnails being in here and people seeing them and like, who would not click on this to check it out? Um, so you've got a preview here that shows, gives a little bit of detail about it. You can put content you've already got in here. So don't worry if you're thinking, oh, I have to create a bunch of content. Everything you've already got, you can have added into the platform. So Leah's podcast that she's got tons of episodes and content for is loaded in here where more people can see it, can binge these episodes and go through them. There's another paid collection here, another free collection, right? Let's see, let me go into, here we go. So when somebody clicks in, this is per Wealth Witch podcast. So this is season 2 of the podcast. And as people are in here, they can see all of the different pieces that are in that collection. Right. And if you ladies have any questions or want me to go into more detail on something, just jump in and let me know here. Demo the rest of the pages for everybody. All right, so this is an example.
What I
Where's
love
my
about
page?
when you were showing like one of her last videos that has like the action steps. What I love about this, especially about
Yeah,
if you're a coach or you have courses, and many
yeah.
people that I know that I've worked with, they do a lot of free stuff in the beginning. So they'll do these like free challenges or free, content that they're giving
Mhm.
because it's what helps drive people forward. However, that does tend to get exhausting and not everyone shows up anymore live. So now if you start having this set up in a way that guides them through, tells them what to do each day, you can actually use like that content and just be sharing it onto your social, be delivering it through email, which brings people back through here, which then drives them into your paid content. So this is the kind of stuff that what I like to geek out on, because I'm like, who could really use this? Like this is like someone is watching a interactive course or a video that you've created, and you can begin, if you start creating new content, guiding them down below, or the links are already there and the summary is, let me ask you this question today. Like you could start creating daily or weekly ways for people to guide and be guided by you. And because there's the summary, action steps, downloadables, this is the stuff people like consume, right? And I used to have to get people into my email list, right? So I'd have to give them my lead magnet to get them into my email list, to get them over here. All of that's going to be embedded inside now. So this is now why we're building it this way. So you don't have to think that way. You don't have to get funnels and lead magnets and all that stuff created for you. You can utilize it inside.
Absolutely. And that is one of the things that's so powerful about this is as we build the network and we build the list, there'll be notifications going out when you upload new content to everybody who's subscribed to your channel or your collections. So they are getting notified when you put new content out, and you're able to leverage the fact that we are building a huge list and huge community to get your stuff in front of more people. Because I know, I'm sure, like if I could do a show of hands, there's so many of us who we know the minute people find us, they fall in love because we're what they've been looking for, but they couldn't find us. And so getting you in front of more of your aligned audience is really what this platform is here to do for you. And you can see this is basically a free video page. And you can choose if you want to embed your videos from somewhere like YouTube or if you want to host them on the platform. So we've got that option. Some of you may want to embed from YouTube so you get your views up and get the YouTube algorithm, say that 3 times fast, to actually show your videos to more people, or you can safely host them inside the network. And just to answer a frequently asked question, this is a non-exclusive license. So when you upload your content, you still own all your content. It's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can blast it out there everywhere. It doesn't have to be only on the platform. Some things like a podcast, you're going to want to have everywhere still, right? But other content like paid courses, you can host them inside the platform, and you don't have to have a separate video host or a separate process for that. So, you've got the video page here, some of the features we already went
Hey,
over,
Michelle, there are
but a
some
couple other
questions that are
things.
coming in though. Do we want to take some questions
Okay.
as they come in, or do you want to wait till after Leah?
Maybe let's just show a few more of the features and then we can kind of go through the questions because I think that will open up like other
Sounds good.
dialogue, more
Sure.
questions. And I did just want to, so Michelle, I think one of the things that was super attractive to me was that, and maybe you could just go back to the collection page really quick, or the main
Sure.
page of the channel. So for me, I have the Wealth Witch podcast. It's obviously free. It goes everywhere podcasts are streamed. And there's been some things that I've done as part of the Wealth Witch podcast that weren't feeling good to me to deliver anymore because it was taking a lot of my time and I wasn't feeling like I was getting a good exchange of value for what I was putting in. So for example, which many of you know, my wealth forecasts. I was doing these monthly energy tarot wealth forecasts, which actually required quite a lot of me because it was a couple hours of checking into the energies, downloading information, and then, an hour to an hour and a half of doing this forecast. And I did it for a year and I got burned out. And so I've actually been taking a break. But one of the things that I've decided to do through the network, which I'm so excited about, is like, you can come and get all of my regular weekly episodes through the Wealth Witch podcast. And obviously that's going to be on the network, but it'll also still be everywhere else that it is, everywhere that podcasts are streamed. But as an exclusive to the network, I'm going to offer a Wealth Witch podcast premium offer. And within that Wealth Witch podcast premium offer, it's going to be $11.11 a month. But in that, you're going to get the yearly wealth forecast, you're going to get the monthly wealth forecast, you're going to get elemental forecasts and elemental content from Michelle and I. So we're putting a bunch of bonuses in there, but it's like for a monthly subscription, you'll get all this upgraded podcast content and you'll also get 4 video casts a month. So it's a way for me to be like, it feels really good to me to be giving this extra level of content, but I get to actually monetize that instead of just it being forward-facing free content. But people still have the option. They can either pay for the premium content or they can just watch the free content. So that's really the beauty of this, is that within collections, you can have free and paid content. And then you have the ability to, like, if you're like, this piece of content has been free and now it's doing so well, so many people are watching it, you're like, I'm going to make this paid now. Maybe I only want to charge $2.99, but I'm going to charge something so that now I'm monetizing that content, and you have that ability to control that. And for me, that's the thing that I'm so excited about. Is the ability for me to control how I'm monetizing my content, how my content's being delivered out into the world. The other thing is I have so much content, you guys. So the ability to have this content library, because people don't even know what I have, where now they can just be like, these Wealth Witch wisdoms, these are my, minute to 3-minute videos where you can come just get your daily drip of wealth consciousness, or you can come and binge watch for an hour if you want. But you get these little snippets of content. And this is all my free stuff that I've been putting on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn that up until 6 months ago were doing really well, but now all of a sudden crickets, right? And nobody's seeing these messages, and they're powerful messages that I want to get out into the world. So these are the things that I'm really excited about, like within the platform, in addition to being able to, yes, this is a e-learning platform where you can completely host your courses through this platform as well. Somebody asked that question. So carry on, but I just kind of wanted to share that right here because I wanted people to understand, like, that's part of the thing as a content creator that I'm so excited about. It's like, I love giving stuff for free, and I'm all about that. And I always have been. And I also want to be paid for my time. So it's like, I get to choose my own balance of what that looks like in a way that feels good for me. And for all of you, you get to choose to do that in a way that feels good to you. Maybe you'll give lots of free content. Maybe you won't give so much free content. Maybe you'll give more, like low-end content and then high-end content. Maybe you'll just be like, no, I just want to sell my courses and I'm only going to give teasers to the content. Like, it really is up to you of how you want to deliver your message. And then obviously we'll be making suggestions to you and, telling you how it's working for us and allowing you to have, those learning experiences as well. But I love that this can be so individualized based upon your niche, your network, your clients, and your community.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what
Absolutely.
I
And
also, oh, sorry, love. I was just gonna add on
go
to
ahead.
though, because I have courses. I don't sell courses anymore, right? Because I run a different form of a business, and I've got some of the most unbelievable courses that I have thousands of people that have been part of, and I just stopped offering them because I don't sell them anymore. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I can actually put my sexy brand building
Yeah.
formula course inside, and I don't have to charge it high ticket like I used to. I can charge it like a
Yeah.
membership, or it can just be something that people can get access to. And now
Yep.
one of my coaches is like, I'm gonna run it live. Like I'll help run it live. So like all these options are now coming where all this past courses can now be placed, tease it, and then offer it. I love your
Yep.
idea though, Leah, of having like a low ticket cost just to have a monthly membership. Like
Yep.
that's so possible and so amazing to be able to do, because that's what people want, your internal stuff. They want your best work. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting for me too.
Absolutely. And one of the benefits of a platform like this is like you could set up a subscription, and in your description on your YouTube video you could link to it, but most people aren't going to open the description and click over to it, and it's tough to move people from social media to somewhere else to give them that opportunity. There's so many times I've run across people that I've been subscribed to on YouTube or the email list or social media for years, and I didn't even realize there were options for things like an upgraded premium subscription, because the social media doesn't show us those things. And so you've got people watching your free content that want more from you and are absolutely willing to invest in it because they see the value in it. They just don't know you have those offers. And so, I mean, you can see here, this is one of Leah's free videos, but right here beside it is one of her paid offers. And so the system is set up in a way that as people come in and consume different content, it's able to watch the behavior. And so if I'm watching a series of videos that are about wealth or about abundance, it knows, okay, here's the product or the course to display in the ad spots that aligns with that. So instead of me feeling like the advertisements are an interruption, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I absolutely want that journaling course, and excited to discover it. So it feels completely different when the offers are based on what people are interested in, which is one of the things that's built into the AI in the platform and the algorithms that are behind it. But you can see on this video, there's other content from Leah that's featured here that it's recommending so that people can continue diving in further, seeing more of her content and seeing those offers. Let's see, and I know Leah, you haven't seen this page yet. This is the profile page. So whether you get a collection or a channel, you have a profile page that you can customize, right? So you get to decide what of your photos you want to display, what you want your bio to say. It can link out to all of your social media so people can connect with you more, to your website. You can choose what you want to feature in the ad spot right here. So you get to upload an ad for one of your paid offers, and you can link it to your paid offer. So if I click this, it links me over to Leah's website for that. It also has your featured content pieces, your collections in here. So you can imagine, again, you as HBO, all of your shows, all of your collections are featured here, as well as individual episodes on your profile page. So this is somewhere that you can share. You can send people and say, hey, here's where you can find all of my content, my uncensored content. This is my real message. If you want that version, here's where to go, and give people that place where they can just, like Leah said, listen to one thing a day. Or for those of us who are really looking to immerse ourselves in positivity and in positive mindset, we can sit here and just have these videos playing and really consume the content and not be bombarded. I mean, I hate to send people to YouTube. I've got videos there, but I stopped uploading. It's probably been a year since I've uploaded anything to YouTube, because I don't want to send my people to YouTube where they're distracted by all of the bad news and all of the negativity, because their algorithms thrive on the shock value and the negativity. And we know that. That's all the news is about anymore. And so having somewhere like this that I can send people, and I know the only stuff they're going to discover is things that are actually good for them, is just, I'm excited about that piece of it. And being able to say, hey, check out this platform. But that's the profile page. All right, get myself back on track here. There's a lot of different ways on the platform as well that people can discover you, right? So no matter how they land on the platform, your content is going to be in front of them. So this is the topic categories, right? And we're actively adding to this, like Rhonda said, as we look for, like human design we just discussed yesterday has to be added in this menu. There's got to be a human design topic. You can see some of what we've got so far. Like this is the wealth. If you click into wealth, and you can see, of course, Leah's content is featured under wealth, because you can choose what your videos are tagged to. So when you submit content, you can say, your channel has topics, your collections have topics, but each individual video also has topics. So you can have things that go to as many categories as fit for you so that people can find you, right? Because they might not know yet to search your name, but they may know, hey, I am looking for information about balance, or I'm looking for help with manifestation or marketing, and they can go into these categories and find you there. And let's see, what else have we got open here? All right, I think that covers the core pages. A couple other things that I did want to just kind of walk through. I think you guys have a link to this. This page explains more about the network, how it works, and what all is included in it. So you can check this out and see how it works. But it's basically 5 steps. So once you get signed up and you've got your collection or your channel, and a channel, the benefit is you get that channel page. Let me go back to Leah's here, where it's got, there it is. There we go, where you can have as many collections as you want inside of it. So if you're looking to share free content, paid courses, things like that, you've got a lot of content you want to get out there, or ideas for a lot of content, I'm going to recommend you just get started with a channel, because it gives you as many collections as you want that you can create within that. You also have the option to just start with a collection. And if you start with a collection, then you get, the collection page. Let me go back to one of those like this, where you can just start with a few videos in there, right? And get a collection started. And you'll see the options inside of the page here for it. But basically you choose your level, and then you choose where you want things syndicated to. So you've got options to say, yeah, blast me out everywhere, which is the one you should choose. But you can also tell us, I want syndicated here, and pick your things. Then you link to your programs, your products, or your services. So you saw we have ads inside there for like Leah's journaling course that's actually in the platform. We can also link out with the ad on the profile to other things that you may want to promote. Like if you've got coaching or consulting services or one-on-one, you can promote those as well. And we call that funnel 0 because you don't have to build a funnel. It's built into the platform for you. Like Rhonda said, I know, because I do a lot of tech stuff. I know how frustrating it can be. Even if you're good at tech, it's time consuming. It's a lot to build out a funnel that actually works. And then you've still got to drive traffic to it. You don't have to do any of that with Wild Network. That stuff is handled for you. So you can, again, just focus on getting your message, your story out there. Now focus on your purpose versus all of the tech stuff, right? Step 3, one of the things that we have built into the platform is media blitzes, where we've got it organized, where we can get it out there in the media, and we give you the assets. So you'll be able to add to your website a logo that says, I am a content creation expert for the Wild Network. We'll give you media releases, stuff to share on social media, all done for you. So you don't have to put your brain power into that. We'll give you those resources. And then Social Blaze is the social sharing that I showed that's built in. And some of the features that we are building out right now that I'm really excited about, this one is Recommendify, where not only is there going to be community built in where you can connect with other women, but we're building in the ability to provide recommendations. So you can look at somebody's profile and say, hey, I know somebody who needs this, and send a recommendation. And other people can recommend you as well. So you'll be getting recommendations to people in the network, and know that they're aligned with the values that matter to you. And you can kind of see more about that on the page here. More details about each of those pieces are in here.
And then maybe just Michelle, because this is important for people with Recommendify, you are going to be able to be like, you will be incentivized for sharing content that is powerful and important to you.
Yeah.
So if somebody from your recommendation buys, say you recommend me, you recommend a piece of my content, and somebody makes a purchase from that recommendation, you earn money. So the beauty of this is that not only can you put your own content on this platform and monetize your own content, but you can open up an additional stream of revenue for sharing other women's content that inspires you and that you feel empowers others. And that to me is really what makes this difference, is we are incentivizing you sharing the content that matters to you and that you feel is powerful. And so even if you don't have tons of content right now, you can come on with a channel, start putting content into the channel, and be making money by recommending channel holders or people with other collections that inspire you. And that to me is really like one of the most incredible things about this opportunity.
Well, and what it does, and this is what
Absolutely.
I think I want to point this out, because when we talk about sharing, some people go, well, I don't want to necessarily share theirs because they'll buy from them and not from me. But that's why we've done it this way, because there's a lot of different business models, right? Where someone could take their person or hijack them. And I've been inside of those business models. Like I've been there before, right? They're like, oh, that's my person, right? Well, that's why we want to change all of that, because women really do want to support each other and they want to share each other's stuff.
Yeah.
However, if you've got your own community and you're like, oh, but she buys her stuff and not my stuff, I lose her. That's why we want to change all that. We want to, that mindset needs to go away, because it should be like, wow, this is so good. I want to really share it. And then you do. And if the person that you're sharing their content is, if they're part of the monetization program, then you can get commissions for that. And this is where I think it's going to be different, because all of a sudden now, real stuff that you do love, you will share it. And if somebody does like it, comes back, they are connected to the one that shared it. And so this was very important for me, because I hated that stickiness and that taking a person in network marketing, direct sales that people had. And it was terrible, where you don't even want to share people's stuff, because if somebody tagged you in a post, you were upset because your people might see it and they might take your person. It was like, oh my God, this is horrible, right? So this is why we're changing that. And this is why this is going to be different.
Absolutely. And Rhonda, I don't know if you want to talk for a minute about Women Gone Wild magazine, but when you sign up with a channel, some of the bonuses that you get are being featured not only on the network and the platform, but also in Women Gone Wild magazine.
Yeah. So because I'm in publishing, I realized that we need our own magazine. So we are in the development right now of Wild Magazine. It's looking to come out most likely around the end of January. Could be a bit sooner. However, every person that does have a channel, you'll be featured in the magazine, but you'll also be able to be having your opportunity to have your own column. So there's a lot of different features that we're going to have with that when that does launch. But what we're going to be doing, because anyone that gets a channel, this is something new, I didn't tell everyone, but because everyone does get a channel, and I want to be able to start featuring you as an expert in publications, we are going to be featuring 5 different articles per month that will that featured content creators of channels will get the opportunity to be featured in these articles that we're publishing, so that you do get some access to some of the additional publications even before the Wild magazine comes out. But it's going to be really beautiful.
Awesome.
And super excited to share all of everyone's features, because being published, that's another element, right? Not only sharing your content, but having someone else tell your story. And we are aligned with the top publications in the world, tier 1s, tier 2s, and being able to have someone else telling your story and being featured by a news or a PR or publication, that allows your clients to see you in a completely different light.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things to me that's so powerful about this is it really gives us a way to kind of level the playing field again and get our message out there in so many different mediums and publications and websites, and really get in front of people with our unfiltered message, which I know, Leah, you're all about that piece of it, and being able to actually share what you're here on the planet to share, which everywhere else is telling us we have to tone it down. We can't use certain words. We can't phrase things certain ways. We can't even talk about certain topics. If that's what we're here to do, we've got to find a way to do that. So I'm excited about that. Well, let's see. Do we want to go to Q&A?
Yeah, I want to just talk about a couple of details really quickly, because I know if you're like me, you want to know like, okay, what's the actual deal? Like, how much is it? What's the deal? How does it work? So we did just show you the difference between a channel, which is what you're seeing here of mine, which is unlimited, not technically unlimited, but as many collections as you'd like, much more availability to put content, to host e-learning courses on the platform, versus a collection where you have a page of content, you have up to 11 pieces of content, and those you can monetize those pieces of content, but you have up to 11 inside of a collection. So it's whether you want to be your own freestanding channel, like you see here with me, or you want to be part of a collection. And right now, the collection categories are wealth, intuition, leadership, and diversity. So those are the collections that you can fall under right now, those topics where your collections would go if you choose the collection option. So the collection is $997 is your upfront cost for that. There is a payment plan option available, a 3 payment plan option available. And then you have free hosting on the network for 6 months. After that 6 months is passed, you will then pay $100 a month to host your content on the network. But extremely generous of Rhonda and Michelle, what they've offered while this is all getting up and running and all the kinks are getting worked out, is free hosting on the platform. So for me, for example, like my hosting on my membership platform is $200 a month. So with a channel, your upfront cost is $2,997. Again, there's a 3 payment plan option available if that's something that you want to know. But then and then you have free hosting for 6 months, and then it's $250 a month moving forward to have the channel. Which link isn't working, Alicia? The one for to see the network? So that's kind of that information. And now, yeah, let's hop into Q&A.
Absolutely. All right, so let's see. Can you go live? That is one of the things that we are building out. So yes, you will be able to go live inside the platform. There's, several of the features that we are coding out right now, and that is definitely high on the list to give you the ability to go live and be able to broadcast content from it. Let's see. I can't wait to create content, especially when it'll be seen. Other platforms become disheartening. Absolutely. That's one of the frustrations that I've talked with so many of my clients about, and so many of my friends in business, is you're creating great content, but nobody's seeing it and nobody's interacting with it. And it's frustrating. It is really disheartening. And that's one of the reasons that Rhonda wanted to create this opportunity for you. Was it's exciting to create content when people are going to see it and actually get value from it, and you get value in return. Absolutely. Let's see here. How many channels does each channel get? So each channel is one channel, but within it, you can have unlimited collections. So at least for the moment, for everybody coming in now, there is no limit on that. I cannot promise that won't change down the road. There's probably going to be some more limits on that piece of it. But when you get in now, there's not a set limit on the amount of collections that you can have within your channel. Let's see. Megan's asking if this will be recorded. Leah, it's recorded, right?
Yep, it's recorded.
Okay, cool. Yes.
It's on demand, so it'll be sent out to anyone that registered, and then my team will also be sending it out via email.
Awesome. Let's see. How do you decide who gets featured and seen on the home page? So great question. And that's actually 2 things. So there's a few sections that Rhonda and her team control as far as what's featured, right? So what's new, they'll be looking at every week and featuring certain content pieces. But most of what's seen on the homepage will actually be unique to each person logging in. So if I log in, I've got a wild pass and I've said, hey, I want to see Leah's content. I want to see Rhonda's content. Whoever I've kind of subscribed to inside the system, that'll come up. And then it's looking at what are the topics I'm interested in? What are the content pieces that I'm interacting with? So if I'm watching a bunch of things that are, again, about, let's say, abundance, then that's what it's going to show in items that the platform thinks I'll like, is it'll show me content from different people who are talking about abundance. So it's learning user behavior, and that page is customized based on what people are interested in, right? So that's kind of the way that works, is it's partially what's new, what's spotlighted, and partially based on the user themselves and what they're interested in, because there are options in here that they can come and subscribe to your channel, and then your content is going to be what shows on their homepage. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what else here. Are the tutorials to guide us to set up and manage the channel? Okay, so this is only for you guys that are getting in early on this. The good news is that you don't have to worry about any of the technical stuff, because Rhonda's team and my team are actually loading the content in for you. So, there's a couple of steps when you get your channel or your collection set up, and I'll show you, I can screen share and show you this real quick. The first thing that you'll do is book a Kickstart call. The link's right here. When we get on that Kickstart call, we'll go over with you, what are your goals? What do you want as like next steps for people? Do you have programs or offers that you want to sell? Are you looking to just build visibility, get your message out there, or use this as a platform so that you can get booked on more stages? Do you have a book launch coming up? Like, what are your goals? And then we can help you figure out, what is that channel title? What are the collections? What are the content pieces that go inside of it? Then you just give us your content. Like, we've got a massive spreadsheet from Leah with all of her content, and we load it in for you. You will have a login, so you can load in your own content if you're techie and you want to do that, or you've got a team that can do it for you, but you don't have to. That's built into the deal when you get in early, is we're helping with that piece, because we want to make this as easy as possible for you. And the last thing that you need is to have to learn another system and another platform. So we've removed that piece. You don't have to. You'll get a login for it, and we will show you how the content works. One of the things we didn't talk about, actually, that is included as well, is a monthly mastermind with Rhonda and everyone who's got a channel or a collection inside the platform. And that's where we'll be going into, hey, here's what's working really well in terms of the types of content you can create. Here's some scripts, here's some ideas for videos, here's some content ideas, and really make sure you've got everything you need to succeed in whatever definition of success is for you, because we know everybody's got different goals with it. We'll also have video tutorials and everything else set up for you so that you
I'd like
understand what
to
you're
add to that
doing.
too. I want to add to that too, Michelle, because the monthly mastermind, and
Yeah,
this is where the benefit is of being a channel holder,
yeah,
is we're not only going to be, being able to answer questions
yeah,
and share what's working, but we're going to be highlighting channels. Like, you'll be able to come and be
yeah,
one of the highlight and the featured speaker for that mastermind as well. And that's something that I love about, community building. Like, I've built massive, massive communities,
yeah,
and and the great thing about that was showcasing those that may never be showcased on their own, or they are
yeah,
experts in their craft, and then their audience is watching, and the whole network then is invited to these masterminds. So this is the type of thing that I
yeah,
love to do, because especially being in PR, when you showcase someone and bring them up into a limelight,
yeah,
that builds you, that builds your credibility, builds your business, because or just takes your message to the next level. When there's an
yeah,
audience, it's like, oh, cool, I'm coming to watch this. This person must be someone that has, not only respected, but credible. And that's what I do best, is really expand people's brands and put you and
yeah,
reposition them in a space that allows you to really be seen in a different way. And I think that's a really cool part of being a channel owner, the mastermind, but also the features. I don't even know if you talked about the featured ads, that when you have your own channel, you actually, there's going to be
yep,
featured ads that are going to be moving through the
yeah,
channel, because you are one of the featured channels.
yeah,
So,
yep,
you showed that, but that I think that they didn't realize that maybe, and when you get a channel, you also
yep,
partake in the ad space, just like you see ad space on YouTube. However, it's annoying ad space. It's not stuff that you really necessarily want. These are going to be things that you
yeah,
actually are going to want, and some of the highlighted channels to be a part of that.
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. And then the other thing is right now, every other week, we're doing a special group Zoom call that you can jump on if you've got questions, if you just want to see another walkthrough of the platform. So that's something that you can jump on as well. And one thing I do want to say, when you get signed up and see this form, don't panic if you aren't sure yet how to answer some of the questions. It'll all be changed to later. And the only thing that's actually required is your email, but the rest of it, you can fill in what you've got so that we can get started building out your channel or your collection for you. So on that, don't panic if you aren't sure what to put in there. It's just part of the process, and we will help you get clear with all of that. Let's see. So I'm scrolling through chat here to see what other questions we've got. Click Q&A. Can this replace a Kajabi site? So some of the things that you've probably got in Kajabi right now, as far as courses and content, absolutely. So the network has built in the ability to turn a collection into a paid course. So it can be one video, like a masterclass, and maybe a couple PDFs. You can put that on there and you can choose the price, right? You can set the price that goes for. You can also do a series. So if you've got a challenge that you've got 7 videos in and you want to charge people $7 or $11 or you know, $1,000, I don't know what price points you've got for things, but you can put that in here and everything would be handled on the platform. So somebody can check out, they can see your content featured, they can check out, and then it's delivered right there for them. So you don't have to have a separate site like Kajabi to handle that piece of things. Let's see, what is the censorship around erotic or sexual content? Rhonda, I will let you take that question.
Well, I think that's the great part about it. I also have a client who's a high level tantra teacher, and whoops, sorry. I'm on a cleanse. It's reminding me I have to drink every 30 minutes. I thought I had turned it down. Sorry. But this is exactly why we're building it, because there are
Yeah.
sensitive material or censored material that deserves to be heard. And, you know, we might end up placing, you know, let's say like an icon code or something that shows like if there's sensitive material, because there's also going to be doctors, there's going to be how-tos. Like right now we're in our own bubble space, teachers, coaches, you know, the things that we do, but we're going to be having some, you know, real estate, selling, how-tos, doctors talking about very specific ailments and things. So like this is the type of space that we want to be able to showcase it at. Like my husband, a surfer, he hit his head, and they took off one of his images of him as a surfer because his fin hit his head, and he had blood on his head, and it covered it and wouldn't even let him share it. And he's like, I'm talking about surfing. It was just, it's so silly. And this is just,
It
you know,
is.
silly things about surfing, right? So, yeah, that type of stuff is absolutely going to be available, allowed, and uncensored.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Is it only for women?
Well, this launch of this network is because this is the Wild Network, which is launching it with women. However, the Wild Network is also going to be including men as well. So we are launching it with the women first, and then we will be cross-pollinating a bit, if you will, because we don't want to just, you know, keep some of the top content creators out, right? Because they also have big lists as well, and we want to be able to serve that also. So absolutely, like my husband, Leah's husband, they all have podcasts. They all want to be part of it, and so they'll be showcased as well.
So there's a question about monetization. How does the monetization work? Is it like YouTube per view or per sponsorship?
Okay, so great question. And Rhonda, I'll let you speak to this. There's a couple of options as far as monetization goes, because I think all 3 of us on here are big believers in multiple streams of income and having lots of different things at work in your business as far as the monetization piece of it. So there's direct monetization where you can sell your own stuff. And there's also monetization for you as an affiliate or referral partner inside the network. And that's based on sales. So if somebody clicks through from your link and they decide to subscribe to Leah's $11 podcast, the elite version, I'm not sure what you're calling it, you would get a commission on that. And if they invest in somebody's course on here, you would get a commission on that. So it's based on the sales that happen. You get a percentage of them. And Rhonda, I'll let you speak more to that.
Yeah, that's, it's, there's a direct sale, but then there's also going to be the option for you to be an affiliate of the network itself as well,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah, so there is, we have a lot of people that are just content creators, but they really are, maybe they're not selling much, but they're like, wow, this would be amazing for me to create my content. And you can also, by referring people to this network, make a substantial commission as well. So this is
Yeah.
where that additional stream of income really comes in very, very clean. So we'll be having, and it's not ready yet. So I know people are like, where is it? Where is it? Well, that's why we're building it. That's why you are here, and you are here early. You are getting your content in, and we're not charging you any hosting fee for 6 months. And that's once all of your content's up, right? So we're not charging you any of this fees because we want people like you asking these questions. We want that mastermind to say, what can we do this? Kajabi does this. I want to get completely out of Kajabi, but there's one element that you're missing. Can you do it? Right? This is why you're here and why once we do this initial pre-launch, we're stopping and we're getting it all ready so that you do get to launch out with your affiliate link as the network. You do get to select the content creators that you want to be an affiliate of, right? You get to say, I've got a great course. We're going to take a look at it and see if it is something that people would want to offer, and we can put you in as one of the affiliated courses, right? So there are also going to be offers that will float throughout all channels. Another reason why to have a channel,
Mhm.
because I will float, let's say, do you want to be featured in Forbes? Do you want to be doing this, or do you need this opportunity? I will have those type of things. I will also be selling the network. And if it's on your channel, someone that goes into your channel, then, and
Yep.
the person comes from your channel, then you get the opportunity to get that affiliate commission. So this is how we're embedding it in, because I know how to sell really well. I just create stuff and I just know how to do it. Like, I know how to do it. However, it is getting so much harder. I know it is. And that's why I feel you. It's getting so much harder because you're like, gosh, this is my life's work, and all I want to do is really help shift someone. Then you got to go, oh, but I also want you to pay me. And it all of a sudden doesn't feel aligned. It shouldn't be that way though, right? It shouldn't be that way. So this is why we're helping that shift your paradigm of, I shouldn't ask for money, because you should. However, the way that the network is, it's like an unselling way of doing it. And this is all these developments, why they're coming. So there's a lot of opportunities that will be in there. Just know that you will be onboarded, you will be fully set up, supported. We're gonna get everything set, and then we're gonna launch it together so that you are ready. You've got all the things, the links, all those ready. So when the world starts seeing it, they're like, what? I want this too. So you all literally, we will have like the media blitz with us, and it'll be like, you're also running a big webinar with us that you get paid on.
So, and I want to just speak to this for a minute, because I want to be really clear that you have all been invited here by me as part of a very special group of people that are getting advanced access to this. So this is it's a soft launch, I guess, if you would call it a soft launch. The people that are coming in right now are pioneering this network. And so there are a lot of perks that are coming with this, with the ability to come in right now, which is that you get to have these personalized calls with Michelle and Mars, and they're helping you set up your channel, and they're helping you with the look and feel of your channel, and you're getting all this feedback, and you're getting this mastermind. And there's a tremendous amount of support built around the people that are opting in right now. The other thing is that this price is only available now, and it's only until these and we're limited. So this isn't an unlimited, there's not unlimited channels. There's not unlimited collections. So there's a limited number available right now. And then once those are gone, they're gone. And then the focus will really be on building up those people's channels inside the network. And then yes, eventually it will open up to more people to come in but you're looking at fees and costs that are likely double to what they are right now. So if this feels aligned for you and it feels like a soul yes, like you have to act quickly. And I'm not saying that just to be salesy, but like, you know, we're over half full right now because of all of the leads that came in during the summit. And I actually asked Rhonda to do this special webinar for my people because I know I have so many incredible content creators in my community that need this platform. And selfishly, I really want to build this network with people that I know are already aligned to me and to these messages of freedom and wanting their work out in the world, because you're part of my community. So I already know that you're resonating with that. I already know that you want to help support and empower other women to build their businesses. I already know that, you know, if you're showing up here, that likely you have really incredible content or you have a really incredible message and you just need some help getting that content out into the world. And so for me, we'll give you the link that you can go to the page. My link wasn't working. So if either Rhonda or Michelle, you guys can drop the link to the just main network invitation. Having said that, make sure that you use the links that I've dropped here, because the other thing that I'm doing, because I want to add additional support for you, is that I'm going to be doing a series of trainings on content creation, content monetization, and content strategy. And so anyone who purchases through my links is going to get that additional training from me, because I'm really interested and invested in you getting your channel or your collection up off the ground and it being successful. And so I'm going to be doing some cool things on my page, like featuring other channel owners and other collections. So there's lots and lots of stuff that we can do, but make sure that like it's, you know, it has to be at this point, is it a soul yes or is it a soul no? And again, there are 3 payment plan options on both of the plans. So it's like, if it's a yes, jump in. I will tell you that like all of the people that you know at my level that I'm associated with have all said yes to this. The other piece of this is that we're focusing on a small amount of content creators right now, because the next thing that Rhonda's doing is bringing in the major players. So there are lots, and I don't know if Rhonda, you're free to share any of that right now, but there are major players coming to be a part of this network. And so it's all of us getting our channels up and running, and then it's them coming in and really building out the robustness of this network. So I don't know, Rhonda, if you want to speak to that at all.
Yeah, I definitely can speak to some of it, and because we're still in conversations and bringing in the right partners. However, I just had a conversation yesterday with Danelle Delgado. If you saw her on the summit, she just got off the stage with Elena Cardone when she came to speak with us. She is actually going to be also a chapter of the book. She's also going to be part of the network. She'll be a speaker in the next summit, but she then is, we have a nearly yes for Elena Cardone to not only be a speaker, but also produce content. We have been in conversation with Amy Porterfield, with Marie Forleo, and with Brene Brown, and even Rebecca Campbell of the book Rise Sister Rise. Like, these are all women that I had already been communicating with to be speakers for the summit. And because the timing, it wasn't right at that time. Now we're going back with them and saying, look, this is what we want, support us for the next one. Because there's also going to be some opportunities for you to be part of potentially in the summit as well, right? So there's all these things that happen within the Women Gone Wild universe. And that's what's going to really make it fun. So that's why we want it to really clean. We're picking the content that goes in, who goes in. So when we bring them in, now we really have a really clean platform. So being aligned next to some of these unbelievable human beings, and these women are really going to be strong. And that's where the eyeballs come from as well, right?
Real quick, if you're on the page and you're wondering where the payment plans, how do you get signed up? When you click the buttons that look like they're on fire, or actually grab Leah's link for your collection or your channel, you'll go to this page, click to step 2, and that's where you'll see the payment plan options. So you fill in your info in step 1, click to step 2, you'll see those options. There's also an option to join with PayPal, and you can use payment plans on that too, as well as PayPal credit. If you use that, that's an option as you go through checkout. So I just wanted to share that really quick, because I know People are wondering sometimes
Yeah.
where they see that. But I think we've got a question that, let's see, where did it go? Okay. Oh, there we go. So
Sorry.
Lori, you ask, as a new business which doesn't have content yet, is this a way to go? I'll give you my answer, and then let the ladies answer from their perspective. There's a couple of reasons I would say absolutely yes. And one of them is, as Rhonda and I have been strategizing with our teams and building this out, really what we've created is what we wish existed when we got started. And I can tell you there's a couple of things that happen with something like this. It is, first off, inspiring to be able to be a community, be part of a community where there is this type of awesome content that gets you inspired to create your content, right? You've got a network of support. And like somebody mentioned earlier in chat, when you know people are going to see the content, it's exciting to create it, right? It gets you fired up knowing people are going to see this. The other side of it is, I would say yes, because I know Leah's bonus for you all is support getting your content created and what to put together. So it's perfect timing if you're just getting started, because, I'll be honest, when I got started, I tell people all the time, please don't go back in my blog archives and read the first stuff I put out there. It was terrible. It got me started, and I'm thankful for that, right? There's always a lesson. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't have a mentor or a guide or a community like this that I could really turn to, because, back in the early 2000s, barely anybody even knew what blogging was. And there wasn't anybody really out there that I could find to really learn from, other than, okay, I'm just going to throw my content out there and see what happens. I would have gotten ahead so much quicker and be able to have had such a bigger impact if I had started with a foundation of women who had already figured this out and who knew what types of content grabs people's attention, how to create that content quickly. Like, just the learning curve with the tech side of it, being able to ask somebody like Leah your questions of, okay, what do I do to actually create the video, and those pieces, the amount of time and energy and frustration that you can save by learning from somebody who knows how to do that. I mean, like, I'm excited because, and Rhonda knows this, my blog, depending on, what I'm doing with it and promotion wise, I'm getting, 300,000 page views a month was my best month. And that's traffic that I can leverage what I know and drive into the network. And you've got a whole community of women like me who we've got the skills to drive the traffic to this and really help power it. So you don't have to learn all of that on your own and try to figure it out.
Well,
Right. So that's what
that's a
I
key
would say.
factor that people need to know is that,
Yeah.
because I have a marketing team, because I market for my company, we will be
Yeah.
marketing to bring in more traffic here, right? So that you're not doing that.
Yeah.
So that's like a really big thing. But
Yeah.
I also wanted to say, and I'm really happy to do this, Leah, especially since we're in Bali and you and I love film so much. I would be love to film these, with you, some of these videos and this training, because this is really when we thrive. And Leo and I, now you maybe gave me a really quality idea, because we've got a huge studio, we've got a huge production team. Like, I've got all of this, so you and I then can really create the training that they need of really, like, how to present yourself, how the background look, how to create a set, how to make it look like you got a massive set if you're in a tiny little room, right? Why awesome big chairs are epic, right? when you but like all these things that Leah and I will go through, and you all will be the
Yeah.
ones that get it, because she's doing this for her community. And then of course it can be something that we then utilize for the
And we
network.
can put it on the network and sell it. See how it works?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Give you guys the
Yes.
free trainings, then we
Yeah.
monetize them.
Yeah.
So but this is the thing, like, and I am, those of you that are here, you're here because like, I'm a content machine.
Yeah.
And like, I have so much content. I mean, literally, as we were creating this spreadsheet, it was bananas, because I was trying to go through all my content. I have, I think, 2,000 videos on YouTube. 2,000. I mean, that's a lot of content, you guys. And so it's just like
Yeah.
going through and like trying to pick it out and sort out like is to go on here was just a weak job in and of itself. But if you don't have that level of content, don't shy away. And somebody asked a question about, is there an opportunity to sell services on the network? Yes, but you have to remember that this is a video platform. This is a video content platform. But if and for me, like, it's about recording video content, which is why this thing that Rhonda was talking about, it's like one of these trainings will be on like, oh, even if you have a teeny tiny shoebox of a space, we can teach you how to make that space look beautiful for film.
Yeah.
And to up your production quality, because that is actually what the market is asking for right now and what the market's really enjoying. And so we can help you, learn how to do that. But if you're selling services, your profile page has all of your links. It has your links to your website. And, if you have let's say you have a one-on-one offer, I would do a little video, a 20 to 30 minute video that includes part of what you offer in that one-on-one offer, then making the pitch. And then that's what you put on your channel. And then there's a link to either an application or to sign up for, to your calendar link to schedule a discovery call with you. So this platform is for people who like to consume video content. Now, having said that, my podcasts, are any of them loaded, Michelle? The actual video? Can you show? So like, because I have just audio content as well. And I actually have a lot of audio trainings, little mini audio trainings that I'm going to put on here. Because some people just like audio, but maybe we can, if there's one loaded, we can show you like what I've done with my podcast so that
we've got like 30 episodes of it loaded. Let me just, it logged me out. So let me log back in here. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Products,
now I should be able to show.
Products, services, everything the same, right? That's why you kind of want to think of this as like YouTube. I've been saying it's like YouTube meets Amazon Prime, meets Netflix, meets, Thinkific, Kajabi, Kartra, whatever your membership platforms are. So this is one of my older ones, one of my older episodes, but this is season 2. That's weird that it has this.
Let's see. Let me go.
That's the wrong graphic. It's fine. They see these things we need to sort out. I haven't seen this yet. I'm like, wait a second, that's the old graphic.
Yeah. I think it's got, we've got the new graphics on the thumbnails.
Yeah, the video though is the new graphic, and then the video. But
okay, we will get that updated.
But at any rate, you can see. So this has changed now. It has the new graphic with a really cool smoke overlay. So, so when you play this, it just.
Let's go to this episode here.
Yeah, maybe just do one of the most recent ones and let's see what.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my episode. This is the video, and it's just playing the audio, right? So it's got this little smoke treatment that goes over the graphic, and then I just drop my audio content.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
and
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, even though it is video centric, like the platform itself, because that's the way we're at this point, we're conditioned to consume that way, right? Well, you can take something even like an ebook. If I wanted to sell an ebook on the platform, I can either just do a quick video intro of it, or I can actually load in the audio like this of reading through the book and give people the choice. Do they want to just read the PDF? Do they want to listen to it? Like, you can create little videos to introduce things and use the platform to sell them, even if it's not video focused content.
Yeah. And then the video can be embedded from YouTube if you want to drive traffic to your YouTube channel, or you can just upload your raw video to the platform.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just going to kind of depend on what your content strategy is. That's something that we can discuss on onboarding calls and on these Q&As that we're talking about, is like what makes sense for you and what your goals are. Let's see. I think we caught up with questions.
Yeah. So obviously we're super, as a new business which does not have content yet, is this a way to go? Did we answer that already? Yeah.
You're welcome to elaborate on that one, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like, again, one of the things that I've been saying is, like, you cannot build the business that I built the way I built it. Like the existing platforms, because of the censorship, because of the algorithms,
Yep.
it's near impossible to create the type of business that I created using those platforms. And so, if I would absolutely do this and start from this place if I was a new business, because know straight away that you're going to be in a network full of women that are all have like similar values, objectives. We all want the same thing. We want huge success for the network. We want huge success for the channel and collection owners of the network. And then, you have these major players coming in who, I'm pulling my content off of all of my platforms. So what you're going to see me doing on Facebook and LinkedIn and Netflix, not Netflix, maybe Netflix soon. That was a Freudian slip, but maybe Netflix. What you're going to see me doing on my existing platforms is driving traffic to the network, because I'm very invested in the network being successful. So my efforts, my marketing efforts, I want to build my channel, but I also want people coming over to this platform because I believe in it. So my other social media accounts are going to be used for the purpose of driving my existing traffic to the network.
Which is a much better place to send your people than, like, for instance, I used to have in my shows, they would go a small portion and then I would send them to Spotify or send them to YouTube. That does not work anymore. So I've been putting my whole show consumable on Instagram. However, it's distracting, right? People, there's so many different offers and different things that come forward. So now now I'm going to be doing it and bringing them forward to the network, because now this is your house, this is your space. And it's just a smarter strategic move to make as a business owner. And those are the things that we'll start talking with you about once you get inside and we start running these masterminds. Like, look, let's look at a strategy. Start using this, the way that you use your content, bring them into your worlds, because your world isn't going to have, ads or things or distractions that take them away from your world. That's the whole reason behind why we created sales funnels. As quick as you can get them to click and get off of that social media platform, you want them in. That's what sales funnel is built for. So we're building that same mentality and that same structure here, as get them into this world. This world is your world because it's monetized by you, not only by your content, but by us and how we're building it. So this is why it's so sexy. And again, why we're saying to you that this is the time, this is your opportunity right now to get yourself a channel so that you immediately get the onboarding email, you get set up. This is going to end, and we are going to be shutting it down. So everyone that's here, that's watching the recording, it's here Wednesday. I think we're going to only be able to keep this open for probably until the next 5 days, until Monday, because of what we're building. And we have to get this audience in. And you're the only audience that we invited to do this, other than my audience that came to the summit. Just so you're completely aware. And it's just because obviously Leah and I are very close friends. I trust her work. Her money line and her karmic energy aligns with what I do. And that's so important to us. We don't take everyone. In fact, we don't take people in the book. We just don't, because if you're aware of how important your money line is, where it comes, who pays you, how they use money, right? You have to be aligned with that. And this is what we're creating here. Those that have very aligned messages, their money line and their integrity is intact and aligned with our values and our visions. And you're obviously, I know, Leah and her audience is very aligned with our vision and our values, and that's why you're here and why you're being given this opportunity. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, energetic and integrity is so important. I agree. It's not something we can play with anymore. Leah and I were actually in a 3-day, she probably shared this with you, we were in a 3-day meditation where we were downloading the new Earth operating system and the codes of what we need to do as women, as supporters and contributors to the collective and to humanity. Like, what are we doing? And as business owners, what are we doing? And how can we now bring that elevate that frequency so that we are attracting more of the same? And this is what we worked on, so that these are the type of things that have come out of it, and why we're being so selective with who's aligned with the network, the book, the summit, the opportunities, our businesses, our lives, our families' lives. And I cannot stress that really more, of how special this is an opportunity.
Yeah. So a couple of things I just want to say is, if you're watching this on demand, you're likely not going to get the links.
Yeah.
So we will be sending out an email to you, to all the registrants of the webinar, with the proper links for you to go to, and we'll be able to do that actually straight away. So by the time you're watching this, you should also have an email from me. If you don't have an email from me, please email Leslie at theleahsteele.com, Leslie at theleahsteele.com, because as we know, not only are we censored and blocked on our social network platforms, our emails also get blocked when they're coming from our email clients and our email providers. So if you don't get an email from me about this webinar with the links, please email Leslie, Leslie at theleahsteele.com. Likewise, if you purchase a channel, please screenshot your payment page and send an email to Leslie with that payment page. We really want to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. Obviously, like, there's lots of different ways that you can pay. Be aware of it if you pay using PayPal, which is an option, that you may not get the immediate automation, because that's a PayPal thing. They just don't link back. They don't communicate well with our payment portals. Mm-hmm. So, but that is your point of contact at the Leah Steele brand for the Wild Network. Okay. Leslie at theleahsteele.com. So any questions that you have, if you haven't received your Wild Network welcome email, if you need to get in touch with Michelle, if you need to schedule your onboarding call, we really want to be there to help and support and assist you. And so that's definitely available to you, but make sure you screenshot that payment page and send it to me as well, because we will be putting together the list of who's going to get access to these special trainings that we're going to be doing. And you definitely are going to want to partake in that. So we will get the on demand of the webinar sent out. We will get the links. If there are people in your community that you're like, oh my gosh, this person's so aligned with this message and they have to see this, feel free to share it. Just do it quickly. Because again, like, we're really like just looking for this core group of people to come in, get all of our stuff up and running, get this baby live. And then obviously there's going to be opportunities down the track, but there will not be another opportunity like this. So if this feels like a soul calling, if this feels like a yes, if this feels like something that you want to be involved in, regardless of how much content you have, like, this is one of those times in life that I am telling you, if you feel inclined or called to say yes, this is going to be one of those times that if you don't, 6 months from now, you will be kicking yourself about why you didn't get involved in this at this point in time. And you know me, I don't say that kind of stuff a lot, but this is the next big thing.
This is like the Bitcoin, right? Like, why didn't I buy it when everyone told me to buy it? This is what it's going to be like, which is kind of exciting, because there's also some crypto things that I want to do within the network too that will in phase 3. But this is going to be something like that. Like, darn it, why didn't I do it when they launched it? Why didn't I just go for it when they launched it? Because you're going to be one of the, the founders of this network, and people will be wanting it, right? And in 6 months, we know supply and demand, right? So pricing.
I just tested both my links. www.wildnetworkcollection is working. Make sure you've got both L's in there. So wildnetworkcollection.com and wildnetworkchannel.com. So that will take you directly to the payment page. Yes, so you can share it with select people. I just put the collection link in there for you again. Yes, I know there were a couple of you that signed up last night, and especially if you paid through PayPal, you likely didn't get your welcome email. We also have a prospects, a Wild Network Opportunity Telegram chat. We'll send that out in the replay link as well for anyone that's wanting to join that. And I guess I could drop that here for those of you that are here as well.
Yeah.
But this is kind of where people
Leah?
are communicating with me. Yeah.
Is it cool if I post the link for booking the wild kickoff call in chat and just on our system if you've signed up, let people book?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So.
That way you cannot get lost in email. That'll take you directly to a calendar, and you can book your kickstart session that is one-on-one with the team so that we can help get you started and figure out your strategy with it.
Yeah, so if you've processed your payment already, you can book that Calendly. You can take that Calendly link and book your call in. There is a link to the Telegram chat where we've got all the information on the opportunities, videos from me, some information from me. This replay will be posted there. It's a place where I'm in there, so you can ask me questions directly. You can get support if you need it. That'll likely just turn into my personal people Telegram chat that have signed up to the network. Eventually, I'll probably move everybody out of there that hasn't purchased. But for right now, it's kind of an opportunity chat. So you can definitely pop in there so that if you have questions, I can answer them directly. Yeah, so I'm so excited about this, you guys. Like, I'm like, I can't even tell you, my team is just saying we've been working so hard on getting everything together and getting all our ducks in a row and getting everything aligned. And I'm having like new ideas every single day about what I want to do with the channel. And so I'm so excited to build this with a group of people that are excited about visioning and bringing bringing in a new paradigm. I mean, this is the whole thing that I stand for, and this is a real-time opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm really very honored, for not only you for saying yes, but also to be in the space and to have the opportunities right now that we need, and to be able to provide that opportunity to those that may or may not ever be able to create something like this on their own is really something very special. And to be on something that is so, it really is groundbreaking, right? It's like, this is what is needed. And people are gonna go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they thought that, right? Why didn't I think that? What? That's gonna happen. Yeah. Guarantee. And so we are doing that, and we are doing it with the right ones. And we're really, there's just a lot of possibilities that are gonna come from it. And we will be listening. So this first stage, getting the content in, getting you ready. People are asking, when is it launching? It's gonna launch in November, once we get everyone really set up. And there will be, not everything will be fully ready, right? Just so we're knowing that there is a phase that we have that all of you will get privy to, of what are the phases, what's available, what are my wants. That's gonna happen in phase 3, but what do I need is happening now, right? We know what you need, and we're providing that. And we know what you want, and we will also work on that. And that's the great part about being the founders. You get the first say.
Yeah.
Super exciting stuff.
Well,
all right.
Thank you everyone for your time, your energy of being here and listening, and hopefully catching the vision. And I'm super looking forward to seeing and hearing whose souls said yes and who's going to take this journey with us. So yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. Have a good one. Stay wild.
Thank you.
Be unstoppable.
I don't know if you guys want to hang out for a minute. Maybe we can.
Okay, did you end it? Yeah.